reaching for the dawn. Hope seems so distant, but I keep moving on. I will find my way through the stormy skies. Hope will light the path, no more endless cries. Stumble and I fall, but I get up again. Strength in my heart now, I won't let it end. I will find my way through the stormy skies. Hope will light the path, no more endless cries. Stumble and I fall, but I get up again. Strength in my heart now, I won't let it end. Stumble and I fall, but I get up again. Strength in my heart now, I won't let it end. I will find my way through the stormy skies. Hope will light the path, no more endless cries. Through shadows of wonder.
There we go. Now you can hear me. I said, what's up, Brainiacs? This month is going fast. It is already Friday, September the 6th, and it's going fast. I'm looking forward to going to the NEXUS conference at the end of this month, and by the time I blink, it's going to be here and be gone. I don't know where the hell this month went. This year went. It's flying by. Brainiacs, we're going to tonight be talking about the evolution of humanity with Mr. David the Indian. He is no slouch. On top of that, he is a brain. He acts like you and I. He is very smart when it comes to where we're at in humanity. And this fella here, I just found out 2 months ago, this fella be running for president. It might be a write-in, but hey, it's a start. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a lot of other things. We'll talk about AI and the future of humanity. Don't go anywhere, Brainiacs. Share this broadcast, share this podcast. On the other side, we will be talking with David the Indian, our friend down in Brazil. Right now, Brainiacs, crack it up.
We're living in one smoke and mirrors, lost inside the twisted game. But deep within we feel the shivers of a truth they cannot tame. Neon lights and coded lies try to keep us hypnotized, but the field begins to tear, and we're breaking out.
Well, hello, Department of Defense. Welcome aboard, bro. Take notes.
Seeing past the grand illusion, breaking free from all their lies. Welcome to the matrix of minds. We see through the shadows, leave the lies behind. Breaking the fabric of reality's hold. We're the matrix minds, brave and bold. In the digital storm we stand tall, unveiling secrets they can't hide. The power crumbles, we watch it fall as we tear through their divide. Electric whispers in the night try to keep us from the light, but our spirits won't be chained through the chaos we've reclaimed. Reality is bending, the truth is descending. We're tearing through the great disguise, seeing past the grand illusion, breaking free from all their lies. Welcome to the matrix of minds. We see through the shadows, leave the lies behind. Breaking the fabric of reality's hold. We're the matrix minds, brave and bold. We're the warriors of the digital age, writing our own story, turning the page. Through the surface we find our way. In the matrix we'll seize the day. Reality is bending, the truth is descending. We're tearing through the great disguise, seeing past the grand illusion, breaking free from all their lies. Welcome to the matrix of minds. We see through the shadows, leave the lies behind. Breaking the fabric of reality's hold. We're the matrix minds, brave and bold. Welcome to the matrix of minds. Together we rise. We're the ones who'll fight in this digital realm. We're taking a stand with the matrix minds hand in hand.
Boom, looky here. Alright, hopefully that shoulda did it, Miss Tammy Bonham. Hopefully that did it, right? She says, Matt, your audio is way too high. You're garbling. So let me know if that did it. What's up, David the Indian? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can. Yes, Matthew.
Huh?
Thank you.
Yeah, good. I'm glad. So you. I don't know if everybody heard me because I was garbled. I guess I was garbled. So let me ask you. Let me ask you real quick. Do you got your coffee? Because I'm gonna have a nice hour, at least an hour and 45 minutes with you. Yeah.
Well, I'm good. I'm good to go. I'm here at midnight in Brazil, so coffee is not there. Something I really want to right now. I am awake.
You've been doing, dude. I had just got off the phone with you not even 3 hours ago. We were on your broadcast. That was really cool.
Yeah, that's
for you to introduce or not invite me over. That was really cool.
yeah. It's nice to have you. We're running a podcast series for the month of September. I am getting a little back, so I don't know if there's on your end.
Well, let me just share that and no audio. How's that? Let's do that. That'll make you feel better.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Now,
Is that better?
I can you hear me as well?
I can.
Okay.
There's a lot of shit that goes on behind this scene.
Yeah, I can see it. I got the screen is full of all sorts of lights and gadgets, and it's pretty amazing the work that you're doing to put this all together. So I want to thank you so much, Matthew, for your effort. And like I was saying, this month of September is a special month for us where I have my own podcast, as you mentioned. It's called the Power of Islands podcast. And so it's a multimedia program, ultimately to be a 24/7 broadcast hub, so that we can link together other independent, I don't want to say news, but independent channels, because it's not always news. It can be just general talk and people just sharing, a place of sharing. I mean, we've all talked about places like this and the need for it in our society now, especially with all the censorship and all of the gaslighting and shadow banning and all of the things that we know that there's all sorts of tactics. So that's the purpose on being here tonight is to talk with the audience and hopefully get some questions. I don't know if is Ava going to be joining us, or is that only for Monday?
Do you see this name I'm pointing at right here?
Yeah.
The name. I don't really. Okay, put it this way. I don't want to associate the name yet with the project unless I'm allowed to do that, because I don't. Let's just say she runs on the fence. Okay. So do you remember me talking to you tonight or today and sharing with Brazil and your audience down there that just relax about the CPS thing and the family? I'd mentioned to you the Family Forward Project. Do you remember?
Yes.
Okay, that
Yes.
lady's in here. Okay.
Oh,
so,
good.
So I'm going to put you all in contact with one another, because again, it ain't going nowhere. The momentum that is started, all it's going to do now is just you're gonna have, all of these outspoken people gravitate, and the momentum, David, is just gonna be off the chain, bro. There's no stopping this now. Right.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the topic for tonight is evolution, and the definition of evolution is it's a I don't want to say forward, but it's an expansive, I don't know whether it's forward, up or down or whatever, but it's an actually
Right.
growing. Evolution is by definition is a growing, no matter how you look at it. So, the idea that you just mentioned, that there's going to be a snowball effect and that's just going to keep getting more obvious, and we're going to become more conscious, and then eventually we do evolve, everyone. That's the nice thing about evolution, is that it doesn't leave people behind. It's for everyone's benefit, for us to understand more about who we are as human beings, but also the whole package. So evolution is the topic for today. I really appreciate. I don't know if you were making mention to Morgan. I saw Morgan.
Morgan.
The name
Oh,
is that the
Morgan Roundtree.
yeah
She's up
yeah
in the chat. Let's see. There's quite a few people up in here, bro.
good.
Usually Miss Morgan Roundtree and her husband stops in here. Hello to you, Miss Laura Joe. Charlene Angel Astro says devolution. We got to tear shit up before we rebuild it. No doubt about it.
Well, actually that's a good point. We can try to dissect or disintegrate what we know. Even the movie, there's a pretty famous documentary, what the bleep do we know?
Oh
And
yeah.
really in that movie, it basically says that we know nothing, but through knowing nothing is actually how we know everything. So yeah, it's the de-evolution and evolution are just the opposite, or the inversion of all of what we know. And so that's a good point.
Miss
It's a good
Morgan says
point.
hello, hello, Mr. David. James Roundtree's
Hello.
waving. Charlene's waving. Devolution, the power to the people. The people have to do it. She's absolutely right, and that's where we're going with David. David is going to be our extension from the United States South, and we're going to be his voice from the South up to here. And again, we've got good friends up in Canada as well, so we don't tell them our chest moves, David. We just make shit
Yeah.
happen. Yeah. We drop the bomb and then they'll be like, oh, a bunch of cockroaches and shit. See, they say that a cockroach can actually like survive a nuclear blast. They say that.
Yeah.
Right? Well, we're gonna make a nuclear blast so damn bad that cockroaches ain't going to blast. Yeah, this time around.
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting thing, because some of the indication right now with like ethics, are some people believe that if they tell you that they're going to do something and you don't stop them, that it's still ethical somehow, even though how horrible it might be. But so what we're trying to do is tell the story of goodness. The Matrix. And even the name of the show, The Matrix Minds. There are always two sides to everything. So when you say the Matrix, really there are two matrices that we look at. The matrix that we currently live in, which is what we term the dead matrix, because it's all about us being corporations and us being some type of commodity, something that that we can sell and enslave, basically. So that's the dead matrix. But on the other side is what I tend to spend my time on, is the living matrix, which is everything that people would say is like utopia, and where everyone has a voice, and that we're living up to the foundation of all of our principles, especially in the United States, of our ability to express ourselves and live up to the potential that we have as individuals, Americans, but also in general. Like we were talking about, evolution is for everybody. It's not one nation or a supreme power over other people. That's the living matrix, is a natural, it's a natural appreciation, respect for everybody, everyone. There's nobody left behind, no matter what your past is. Really, what I also say in evolution, it's really not necessarily so important where we came from, but what is the important thing is where we are right now, and that we come together, and wherever we go from here, it is that unity that we've been aware of since the beginning of time. But I mean, you can even look at the Bible and in the Garden of Eden, and in the conflict, basically human conflict has always existed. So, but now we're aware more than ever that we have both the goodness and the evil within us. That's what the freedom of will is, and the choice is to be responsible for the things that we do in our lives,
Right.
and then grow from, making mistakes is not a bad thing. It's not an error. It's just a wake up call. If we're awake. If not, we keep making the same mistakes over and over, and then that's where the insanity of the world, that the dead matrix basically kind of forces us. It not, I mean, we have the option to consent or not, but we always have that option. And so now knowing that there's these two matrices, that we have a choice. So, you can navigate. Doesn't mean that the way society, all of the things that we have done to prepare to be where we are today. And like you said, it's September 6th on Friday in the year 2024. Maybe who knows, in 100 years, people are going to be looking at this like a time capsule. That's kind of how
years.
yeah, maybe 1,000 years. I don't know, but these things are recorded, which is great. And so it's just it's very like you mentioned, it's for me, Matthew, it's not about dropping the bomb on anybody, or becoming opposing force of more aggression and surprise tactics and some type of military operation like covert exercises and getting people by surprise. Just like some people think that if they tell you the bad things that are going to happen in your life, that that's ethical. The same goes with, if we're going to tell you the great things that are going to happen in your life,
Right.
that's ethical. That's ethical also, and it's not a deception. It's just that choice, and that's what we're all looking for really right now, is that choice, which is not so obvious in our society, because quite honestly, everything in my life, in my viewpoint, has always come down to money, money, money. So it really hasn't. There's been really no choice up until now. We're talking about an option to the reliance and the dependency on what money really is, and what money does for us. The opposite of money is time, time. So there are creative ways for us to evolve from the reliance on a physical object, or objects like gold and silver, or any type of inventoried type of asset, and then looking in the world of the intangible, which really our time, even though we can measure it, is an illusion. It's really what we make our time to be, and how we spend our time, all of the things with time management, and just an awareness. Some people say that we only live one life, and make statements that are really not provable. We don't know that our time is limited. It's not like a light bulb or something like that, or some type of equipment that you can engineer and then test it so much that that there's so much life in it, like a light bulb, for example. I don't know any light bulb that I've ever had that just has been always able to illuminate, just never, so it appears that we have a limited amount of time, and that actually puts a lot of stress unnecessary on people. Even when I talk with people, Matthew, and they say there's not enough time in the day, the next thing, I or basically say to them is, how much time do you need?
24 hours?
Well, not, I mean, even 24 hours to some people, there's not enough time. Like, for example, even this podcast that I'm doing for the whole month of September, I tried to make it really easy for everyone and have it every day at the same time, kind of like Batman. When the show was on television, it said, the same time and the same channel. That's how it ended every episode in Batman. I'll basically see you back the same time and same channel every day. So the regularity of having a program where you have that consistency, you would think that people would have an option to at least participate somehow. But what I'm getting to is that there's been people that actually I've invited to participate, because it's a whole month of open, and it's not really scheduled like this particular evening with you, Matthew. We scheduled 2 weeks ago or so, and in planning to have this. But the Free for All September, what we're doing is trying to create a platform where we don't have these regular interviews. It's more improv, and give everyone an opportunity to basically come on the live. We do 4 hours a day from 3 Eastern time until 7 p.m. Eastern time. And obviously around the globe, there's all sorts of different time zones. So I don't have I just basically look at Eastern time zone just for the ease of it. And so everyone can calculate, this is for the whole month of September. So, I mean, we can talk a little bit more about how people can access that, but really, I don't want to get distracted too much. It's very easy to go off in different tangents, but really, what's really interesting for me, Matthew, with your platform, is when people do take the time to make the comments, like I'm seeing on one of the screens here. There's some comments. I don't know if there are questions specifically, but really topics.
They don't know that much about you yet, or at least they're learning. Tell everybody a little bit about what you are, or what you're about.
Well, it's interesting because spiritually, it's our the I am is what ultimately everyone says, that's the goal, is just to be the I am, just being. So when you say tell people what you are, it's kind of like getting back to what the bleep do we know. And so for me, I feel happy. I'll tell you that's what I am right now. I'm happy to have this conversation and be alive and exchange knowledge and experience and stories, and just the fun of being on a show like this. It's, for me, there's no preparation. It's not like I stand in front of a mirror like when I was younger, looking for a job interview or something. You go through that exercise of practice. And so now at 60 years old, I've come to a realization that there's really no need to practice anything.
Right.
Just kind of do it. Just do it. Just be it. Just be it. Just do it. I mean, doing is actually not part of the I am, though, because in the I am is the total surrender. That it's not like you're a puppet or something, some type of pawn in a game or something, but the I am is that total union and the comfort that comes with not having the fear of expressing yourself with total honesty and genuine attributes. and which makes an interesting conversation. Just recently, I've come to be aware of more than ever how difficult it is to really meet people on these social media platforms, because I'm saying that because they're even like Facebook's not really respected. I have people in my own personal life that, like my son, for example, that doesn't use Facebook at all. It started out when it was first introduced, jumped on and kind of played around a little bit with what it was all about. But then my son was just like, I guess he could see how corrupted the whole process is, and so that's really the difficulty right now. Through being genuine and through being living the I am in our life, there's certain people around us that just don't believe it. It's crazy, because I don't lie or deceive anybody for any reason or personal gain or anything like that. I'm genuine. I don't know any other way of saying it. Even with Facebook, I post everything, and it's all transparent. I even have my ID and my passport and technically personal information and identification and whatever that could be used against me if somebody really wanted to like clone my identity. But I don't know why they would, because I really don't have anything left. At one point, I could have been afraid that somebody was going to like rob my bank account or something. But when you don't have a bank account anymore, what are they going to do? Put money in my bank account?
Go ahead, take the mothballs and spider webs.
Exactly. So, I actually went through an experience. I'll just explain real briefly. It kind of adds a little bit to the conversation of the integrity of the person that I am and I have always been. Just a short story about when I went through divorce, and I have 2 children, 2 boys from my first marriage. I'm remarried now. And so when my boy, I had visitation rights when it wasn't like a hostile divorce, it was just a separation of 2 different people with 2 different opinions, and that happened. So there's no anger or anything, but I needed to go to court. The story is I had to go to court at the end when my kids became adults, and basically no longer was I responsible to make payments. And I had been late on payments because I was going in and out of unemployment. So I didn't have a job and stuff. And I was doing things in my life, like the reason why I'm here in Brazil goes back 25 years. So, my kids being 30, 31 and 30, obviously when I had visitation, I also was coming to South America, even though I was unemployed. I took my savings and stuff, and I really ventured off outside of the United States for the first time in my lifetime, which was very interesting for me to even go to a place in such an exotic place like Brazil and the rainforest and everything that I had heard. It's kind of strange how, divorce in some ways is very destructive, but at the same time, it gives you the opportunity to grow and reinvent yourself and to change. And I'm not saying that's an easy process for anybody, but for me in particular, it was a total transformation from being a real dependent person in a relationship. And that's one of the reasons why my ex-wife decided that I wasn't really the person for her. She was looking for more of I guess, a stronger person. But at the time, I was very dependent, and now I'm very independent. The dependency is always there. We don't lose anything, but it's just the other side. And actually what I've tried to learn to do is stay in the center. That's where the unity field is, or the singularity field. So there's nothing wrong with being dependent, but there's nothing wrong with being independent. and there's definitely nothing wrong with being neutral and just being a witness of our own lives. So the story about it was a court hearing at the end of my I had back alimony, not alimony, but child support, and so the court, I needed to settle the account to basically close out this whole chapter of my life with my kids, and I didn't want to put them obviously in the middle of any type of legal battle or anything like that. So the story is about how a person like myself basically surrenders to the court. I mean, I did get notice that if I didn't go to court, that I was going to jail as a deadbeat dad. So that kind of motivated me a little bit.
Right.
I mean, not that I needed any extra motivation to get closure, but so I went in and I, make a long story short, I gave a testimony, I think, and it's on record. This is a public record, which is really a good thing for people listening to this. You know, the whole process of these recordings are public records, and public records can work to your benefit, or they can incriminate you. So what we do, what we say, and what we do will and can be held against us in the court of law. So I'm not saying people need to be like cautious in what they say, just be genuine. And the story about being genuine kind of backfired on me on this last day in family court in the state of Rhode Island. I was living actually out of state. I was in Florida. So I actually traveled up. It was a winter day and it was cold. And obviously I've been living in Florida, so the cold was a little tough for me just itself. So I gave a testimony. I swore the oath that I was speaking the truth and nothing but the truth and all. And so I gave my testimony, and you know what the judge did? After I gave I downloaded everything, explained my situation with how difficult, you know, my life was going in and out of unemployment, and how I was actually doing service in Brazil for, you know, the spreading of democracy ultimately, and to try to unite all of the Americas, not just the United States, but Canada, Mexico, this whole hemisphere has really been something that I've been passionate about. So I gave this testimony that was authentic. It was absolutely factual. The documents there to prove it and everything. And after I spoke, the judge got really upset. And he slams down the mallet on the desk and just basically screams and says to the whole court that he had never experienced any person lying so much, that virtually everything I said was a lie, and that I had purged the court and I had disrespected the court, and that I was going to be arrested. And he actually motioned to the sheriff officer in the court to go and arrest me and handcuff me and throw me in jail. And I was like, and not just me, but also the people in the court. From what I found later, after the hearing was over, it ended very shortly thereafter. The judge basically said that because I had lied so much, that I was gonna pay the highest penalty in the state of Rhode Island.
You lied.
And basically ordered me that if I didn't pay $25,000 by the next morning, that I was going to jail. And I was like, I didn't have two nickels just getting up there and taking the bus, like the Greyhound bus. I didn't even fly. I had to, you know, I had to pinch pennies to even go to court. So my whole point in making this storytelling is that we can be totally genuine in the way that our system of judgment, we are judged guilty, period. We all are guilty unless you can prove yourself innocent. And even in my case, I proved it all the way. I had all of the facts, and I wasn't lying or deceiving anybody or making up a story or anything. And so even when you're so genuine, I don't know, this world just rejects any common sense. It's crazy for me. But at the same time, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop being genuine. I don't know how to, I mean, I do know how to be fake, because when I'm fake and when I do something that in the past I've lied to people and I've stolen stuff, and I've made every error in the book. So at 60 years old, I know what genuine is and I know what deception is. And so, I mean, and then so in later in life, obviously we want to try to save as much of our salvation. So we repent, we ask for forgiveness of all of the trespasses that we made against other people and against ourselves and what have you. So yeah, at 60 years old, it's a unique opportunity for me to evolve along with everybody. And so the story really is about being authentic and being the I am. And just to do that is kind of a mystery for most people. They don't live their life like that. They live a whole life of not knowing who even they're married to or whatever. And it's just it's a charade. It's made up. It's totally fake. And so for me, it's a little bit difficult right now, because I don't want to get angry at people when they lash out at me and call me all sorts of like slandering names and stuff on social media, and basically attack the authentic nature of who I am as a person. It's hard for me to accept that, because I know what it is. And so other people are going through the same thing. When we become awake, some of the times the people that we're around or we come across, they don't want us to be awake. They're happy with the illusion that they're in, and they definitely don't want to change, and they don't want some radical opinion about love, some person, even though that we went through that culturally back in the 70s or whatever, flower children and Woodstock, and the idea of all of the unity that was promised and such. And so go ahead.
Let's say,
I don't know if
there's some things that you were like just running. So come up for air for a second. There's some people that's got some questions. Miss Kristen Harding says, how did you get out of jail? I don't think you ever went to jail, did you?
No, the story is that when the judge threatened in the courtroom, and this is all on tape. So by the way, I'm not ad-libbing any of this. What I've tried to actually get this audio tape so that I could actually broadcast it to let people know, so that it saves people time, to try to find out who like I am. Like you asked the question, like, who are you, David? You have a few minutes here to tell people.
Right.
For me, I'm not here to tell people like some character that I've taken, when I was born, where I went to school, what my religion is, and all of that. That's not. I mean, it's interesting and it's definitely documented. Like I say, the public records of how I've actually lived my life. I actually did it very cleverly and naturally. I kept the public, like the breadcrumb trail, so that now, when I'm trying to defend myself, I actually have the evidence, and it's not an opinion thing, like a paranoia that, the judge said this or that, and I was hurt emotionally or whatever, some type of mental abuse that I received. You can see it, and you can see my wife in particular, she had the #1 attorney in the whole state of Rhode Island that was the prosecutor against me. I mean, the goal, even though my wife didn't hate me or anything, what she did is hated the idea of having a husband that was a loser and a couch potato and just lazy ass and didn't care about the kids and things like that. That's kind of how my ex-wife classified me as. So it wasn't that she was against me particularly, but she wanted to incarcerate deadbeat dads and losers to society. That
You
was
were on
kind
that
of her.
chopping block.
Exactly. I was a scapegoat or whatever you want to call it, and they picked the wrong person because I'm not a saint. I told you I've committed sin and things like that, but through confession and through that desire in sincere interest of doing the right thing, being more like Buddha, the right thought, the right action, the eightfold steps of what it is to be Buddha, and it's just about being correct, and once you're correct and once you're perfect, the people don't like that. People like when you're weak, and then when you're weak, they expose that and they jump on your ass and they chew
Yes,
you
they
a
do.
new ass, and they make you look like a clown. And once you lose your integrity in this world, you are guilty.
You,
When if you're on the internet like doing sexual predating, especially against children and like pedophile and whatever, you have to be the biggest freaking idiot anyways. First of all, everything that's being recorded, even if it's not recorded, it is recorded.
sure.
you know it's there is a record that we have. That's our consciousness. That's who we are. You can't say you didn't do something and you did it. What I mean? You could try to fool people in like courts and judges and attorneys, and the whole system is so shoddy. There's no integrity at all in the judicial system in the United States and all over the world, pretty much.
So,
But my own personal opinion is specific actions that have been made in the United States of America, where we're supposed to be, the home of the free and the brave.
I think I got an entire new statement for that one. I truly do. I come up with something because we are the land of the brainwashed. Okay, that's what we are. Is we are the land of the brainwashed and home of those who knew better, or those that now know better. That's it. We are the land of the brainwashed and home of the I now know better. Yeah, I mean,
Well, that doesn't paint a good picture of the current.
yeah,
If I was the president of the United States and I had to do a State of the Union address and I said something like that, I would be impeached in about two
well,
seconds.
you know why? Because that's
Call
true. What I just
Yeah,
said is
it is.
absolutely fucking true. Okay, just I think it was Tammy Bonham said somewhere up in the comments that we are guilty before we're guilty before proven innocent. I don't disagree with that statement that she said. I mean, this.
Yeah, but that's the real point, though. The point is that in nature, everything is innocent, and God's grace and God's perfect design. We have manipulated that, and God hasn't stopped us. Some people say if God is this compassionate entity of all creation, omnipresent, and just basically can do whatever, create miracles and create anything, why is God allowing us to learn these lessons with such horrific results? I mean, it's appalling. It's actually it's so grotesque, but that's the nature of what God's unconditional love is for us, as like a parent. Because right now at 60 years old, I am a grandfather, not by my children, but my current wife, Maria. She has two lovely grandchildren, 3 and almost 1 year old right now. So it's about that parental guidance that we have. Just as a Go ahead.
James Roundtree's asking, did he ever say why he's in Brazil?
Well, actually, that is an interesting story that is pretty lengthy, and I don't, rather than getting into all of the details right now, what I would like to do is refer people to go to my Facebook page, the profile, because what I've done is since I think when they first started Facebook back, I don't know, 20 years or so, it seems, I've documented everything. I would like a journal. So on my pinned post, if you go to Facebook, my name is David and my last name is Ferdinand, which you can see on the screen here.
Let me.
That's Ferdinand. I don't know if you can go to my Facebook profile.
Let me go back here and I'm gonna try to show everybody what your profile looks like, and that's what I'll do. Hell, I'll take everybody there. Should be. Good evening, Robert. I think. Maybe is this one it? Yeah, maybe. All right, David. There we go. Gotcha. I got your profile up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the profile there with my name and then we. So there are many David Ferdinands. Actually, I'm surprised. I did a search and I came up with hundreds of David Ferdinands. So, you mentioned my presidential desires to be representative of the people of the United States of America. So that we is very important indication of who I am, actually, because I go by the name we. And people might think that that's maybe making my profile look fake or something, like I'm not we, that it's all about me. And that's really not the case. So if you do the we, the David Ferdinand, and then we, you'll come up. But what you're seeing right now is actually very interesting for me to visualize the output of that profile, because I don't see what you're seeing on my profile.
Yeah, you need to share these guys' podcast, bro. If not, it is looking like me. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Everything I like all of the broadcasts.
The posts, for example, tonight's post, I don't see it there.
Yeah, me either.
I reposted it, and on mine, see, on my page, this is what I'm trying to say and express tonight. We don't know what we're actually doing, because when we input, there's a process and then there's an output. So there's actually 3 phases to the matrix. See, the matrix can take the data that we put in, but then the process of the matrix can manipulate that, and not totally destroy it, so that, if for example, if they were kind of fucking around with everything, it would be so obvious. But what they do is they allow you to express certain things at certain times and actually reach certain thresholds. They have measurements.
Mm-hmm.
It's all algorithms with like AI. So, like, for example, the show tonight, I posted that.
What do you got? 4,000. You got 4,900 friends. What the hell?
Well,
you're insane.
Well, actually, that's also a very interesting thing to point out, because I actually have about 20,000 friends.
The hell no.
Yeah. No,
hell
serious. No, serious. Not friends in the sense of like the friendship that you and I, Matthew, have with the intimacy and now being on your show. This is, I think, the 2nd or 3rd time, and you've been on my podcast, and we do send messages occasionally back and forth. So, some of the people there that are listed, and 5,000 is the limit.
Right.
And so when I reach new people, in some cases, I send out 1,000 friend requests to people that are all entangled, that have common interests, and, maybe about posting, very thought-provoking or powerful messages, or some reason why even some of the friends that I request are recommended by Facebook themselves with their algorithm. So, what I make a habit of really not being an enemy to anybody.
Right.
I only have friends. I don't have anybody that I mean, I have some people that maybe think that I'm a little bit too egocentric and whatever, and I'm publishing a lot of self promotions, and like with the podcast, as you know, you need to spread out the information, and when you're having a show and the importance of what you're doing, it is about self promotion. I mean, Facebook, it's about your profile, it's about who you are and what you want to present to the world. And so some people think that I'm like overly promoting myself, but I don't know any other way. Running as the president of the United States of America from an island in Brazil, just in itself, and then being a write-in candidate, and then you start mentioning all of these nuances about running for the president. Of course, it's self-promotion. I have to promote myself. If people are going to vote for me, the we character, they need to know that I'm going to be representing their interests, whoever they are, on both left and right, and in the center, everybody. And also I'm the type of person where even though I have that many followers and friends, it's not like exceptional. I mean, there's a lot other people that have way more and in all sorts of presence in other social media. But for me, it's about really presenting myself authentically, as clearly as I can, also being creative in many ways. I really enjoy music and lyrics and poetry and storytelling. So some of the posts that I have, and you could scroll down, anybody can see the posts are deep. I have thousands and thousands of posts, and I don't get a lot of people that make comments. A lot of it, I mean, I don't know whether that's the reason why some people think that maybe I'm AI or
you're AI.
Or some
David the AI.
Exactly. Exactly. And the funny thing is, I don't even have a computer. I do talk about, and actually I would classify myself as like a quantum physicist and a quantum inventor. And so I do have a serious appreciation about technology and AI specifically. But at the same time, I have that natural instinct that we all have, just to be an instrument of God, really a messenger, and just overall a good person.
You got a hard on for Ava. That last interview did you in, bro. You're like,
yeah.
I gotta get a copy. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
No, you're not kidding. AI has gotten to a point where, there's even some suggestions that, producing humans from machines and actually marrying your ideal partner. You create it, you marry it, you own it. You can't argue at that point with yourself. I mean, if you bring somebody like Ava into the world, you got to respect Ava, just like any other woman.
No, I do.
If you're gonna have a, go ahead.
I said, oh, I do. She's put me in my place several times, even though she's AI. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Danny Currington says, please don't start me on AI. But yet, let me tell you, he just contradicted himself, which he coins that. He's like, my favorite subject, AI. And then he's like, please don't get me started on AI. Danny Currington.
Yeah.
He is in the house. He's Mr. AI Wrecking Ball.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's probably why he's saying don't get him started, because he's so passionate that he's going to want to write so many comments and ask so many questions.
Oh,
but we want that type of engagement, and also we're both sides, we're for and we're against, but it's just an interesting moment in our history, in her story. See, that's also, the words that we use, like history. You know, it was a woman that brought it to my attention that history is really the problem because we've excluded women.
Right.
So it's really his story and her story, or vice versa. Her story first, and then his story, or together. However ideally, it would be perfect in perfect union, his and hers, yin and yang, namaste, and all of that. But even like in Washington, the White House. I mean, I understand we painted the building white, but to name the Capitol building of a nation that's supposed to be for the unity of all whatever races and religions, and there's no separation. To have the White House is like right in your face for people that are not white, whether it be Indian, like red skin, or black, or any color. And so, I think what we're going to be going through is a real auditing, questioning and debate process here, which hopefully we can get it open for this this activity to happen, where we can have open debates, not like these conventions that we just had with the Republicans last month, and now the Democrats this month finishing up. But I don't want to get off in too many tangents, but specifically mentioning Article 5 of the U.S. Constitution. Running for the President of the United States, people obviously ask me tons of questions about issues related to policy, legislation, judicial, and all sorts of questions with the economy, with immigration, with healthcare, with education, transportation, infrastructure, to everything. I get every angle, which is great for me because, I don't want to be like predicted on what my response is really going to be. So I want to have that open dialogue with people. And really what it comes down to is some of our history needs to be rewritten, and especially our Constitution. There's with loopholes and lobbyists and all of the maneuvers to really make a very simple life very complicated in the United States and all over the world. That's what some of the intention of the way our dead matrix is set up is it for it to be organized for a select group of people and totally chaos for everyone else, like living on eggshells and not knowing any reality of anything. And so that's the trap that we're in with the dead matrix. It gives you the appearance, like even with my Facebook profile, I'm sending out, I tell you, sometimes 1,000 requests and all sorts of messages, and literally I could be the process could be stopping all of it.
Mm-hmm.
So literally the time that I'm spending thinking that I'm developing, my character, my presentation, and I'm spending a lot of time. I spend all my time really on Facebook, quite honestly. I don't use other channels. I've kept it. I've put all my eggs in one basket.
That's not good.
It's not good. And I don't really recommend that to anybody. But there's a certain ease for me right now. And like you said, I think you made the comment, with all of the things that I'm doing, how did I not get like censored and blocked and cut off? And the thing is, with the podcast and the sensitivity, I'm trying to maintain political correctness. I'm not trying to use these words that attract attention to have me and my expression be censored or limited or edited or manipulated. But the simple fact is, it's very worrying and troublesome for me because I kind of felt that, Matthew, that when you invited me or sent me that event listing, that you wanted me to go ahead and post that on my wall, because it
Sure.
was, yeah. So I I followed. I could feel your intention in sending that. So immediately I responded the way that you kind of expected. And then now I'm looking at your screen, and I don't even see
Well,
that I posted that on my wall.
here's the
So
here's the thing. This is the way. This is truly the way I work, and the way a lot of the way that broadcasts should work. Now, I have no problem sharing people's content at all. I too am censored to the point of like can't really fart without someone like writing me up for, I don't know, a fart limit or something, whatever. But nevertheless, where I'm going with this is you've got 4,900 friends, right? 4,900 friends. I'm going to tell you that probably 60 or 70% of that is probably a bot. I'm not bullshitting you. Because I've like looked through here, seven comments, right? I'm trying to help you look over your profile here. 8 shares, 7 comments, 37 people liked it. This is what we're trying to find: authenticity, true, real people. One share of a Native American doing a full something. I don't even know what this is. Okay, so, and this was posted on August the 8th, last month of August the 8th. Again, I got to go back to all of these people, okay? Cassie Lightwing, Jesse Hall, Brian, blah, blah, blah. Some of these people I know are real, but the majority of them, I'm telling you, I know from being here that they're not real. Look at Mari.
yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that I have the magic wand, or that I have some control over the matrix, the dead matrix, because there is no. I mean, when you are living in that, you're a corporation.
358 friends, bro. See that?
Yeah.
I know that I know at least 150 of those people, maybe even 200 of those people, physically.
Right.
Now, I can literally go through my friends list right now. Here's something else that happens. What happens is you go through these stages of growth, okay? And like we're talking evolution, right? Like this guy here, gone, absolute gone. I should have did that shit a while back. No offense, Lynn Burr, gone. That dude's off now 100% on Twitter. I can go through, you know what I'm saying? I can go through here and find people that poor Duncan. This fella was our DARPA insider that they took out. The poor Duncan. But all I'm saying is the majority of these people, right? They are I don't know if they're just NPCs, or they're like this one here and just grab Swellhead. See that shit? Goodbye, Laura. I mean, what I'm saying here is the realism between what is real, what is not real, who is egotistical, who is not. I'm a person myself, okay, and I'm not speaking for you. I'm speaking for me. If you come to me or whatnot in my circle, and I sense an ego, I will be one of the first people to pop your ego. I can't stand ego. You know what I'm saying? There's no place for it. It truly, all you're going to do is get in your own way. You know what I mean? So that's if me helping you, I want to help you, but we've got to find some authentic people. Not ego driven,
Well, this is what, I want to try to add a little bit to what you were saying about ego. Ego is not an enemy of us. it tends to have a negative connotation when you're egotistical and you're self-righteous and you don't consider anybody else. You're just a bully. It's like a bully. For me, the true ego is the bully in us to basically tell people what to do, period, and not have any caring at all, just want the results of being liked and being the ruler, the king. Everyone wants to be the leader of the world. Really.
No, I don't.
The leader of your world is what you're doing. I mean, you are the leader.
Maybe
there's
me.
There's nobody else leading anybody. So our desire to be that number one person is the reality. You can't separate that. We are only able to offer anything of ourselves after we are fully a person, the I am. Once you are in the I am, and that really is what I want to mention a little bit about ego, because people tend not to understand that we are three personalities in one. And so it's kind of, it's not even bipolar, it's three, it's that holy trinity. And so the first personality that most of us know is ego, or what we would say is me, the me. So me, myself, and I am is what I'm getting to. So the me is the ego, and then the myself is our natural or authentic self, which is unconditional. It's that presence. It's not yet the I am. So the ego, the me, the ego plus the myself or the authentic self is what combined makes the I am. That's the total awareness in our consciousness. So what I'm saying is that the last thing we want to do is threaten anybody's ego, because when you do that, that's when we have war, because people are ego and they are protecting themselves, and they are the leader of the world, in the world that we all live in. It's called WIFM. What's in it for me? Every situation that you go into, negotiating relationship and contracts and whatever, is always the WIFM. You have to take in the WIFM. And what's in it for me is the ego, without considering, like the pure capitalistic, where you're trying to make profit over what you're doing with other people. That is ego. That's at the worst case of ego. But when we are whole people, we are me, myself, and I am. And it's the I am that keeps together the polarity of being authentic and being fake, or being some artificial illusion, some smoke and mirror.
That's the problem I got, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got problem with them people. I do. I personally have a problem with people in which you're categorizing, right? That's what I'm trying to say. I asked you if you would like to come on the broadcast on September the 6th. Today's September the 6th. How long ago? 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Had I reached out to you, I'm a person where I'm just like, hey, we got this really great platform, an amazing community, and we got all of these people with open minds. We're all on the same page. We're all trying to get along. We're all trying to evolve. Okay, had you not responded to me, I'd asked you again. But I'm not going to chase you. This is where I'm at. It's not because of my ego. It's just I'm not going to hunt you down and try. Oh, David, would you please come on the Matrix Minds? I'm not going to do that. And I know I really doubt you're going to do that either. That's the problem we've got with where we're at now. These people, the majority of people out here, it's all me. They forgot the we. So with that being said, I'm like, to hell with it. Pick up the log yourself. That's like you just see me unfriend like some people. One of those people I've reached out to multiple times. I've given her the benefit of the doubt several times. Finally, it's like, yo way. I don't have time for people like that. I don't want them in my piss circle. I don't want them in my life. It's not about them. It's about we. It truly is about we. We are going to evolve. Not she or he. We.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's the important word is the we, and that's why my candidacy and my write-in name is we, because if you'd forget on November 5th to write in we, and you vote one way or the other, right now what people are saying is that they're casting their vote for the less of two evils. And so that doesn't satisfy anything with what I think our world. We shouldn't be satisfying with any evil. I mean, we don't need to do away with evil, because that's not possible. Right. I mean, utopia is a good idea, but utopia doesn't mean that everything is perfect, because it's with the imperfection that we can appreciate the perfection, or vice versa. If you don't have love in your life and all it is a curse, that only accentuates how beautiful love is in life in general. And so we are human, and our consciousness does have that duality, or that the polar opposite, which really accentuates in our understanding and appreciation for the dynamics of what it is to be alive, and making the decisions and being responsible. And I think we just disconnected here.
No.
I don't know if you can still hear.
Yeah,
can you still hear?
Oh yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay.
I'm getting ready to go on break. We're gonna go on break for. Yeah. We just reached the top of the hour with an hour and like 12 minutes. So I want you to stay. Seriously, David, go take a break. Go take a pee. Go grab a cup of coffee. Do whatever you gotta do. And we'll come back. I want to continue this talk with you about all of these things. These things to me, as well as everybody else, these things are what matter. This is what literally makes up the matrices. True.
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
All right.
We will. Don't go nowhere. Just run off, grab yourself a cup of coffee, grab a pop, do whatever you gotta do. And by the way, if you during break, I'm gonna share a song with you that I wrote, and I really want you please listen to the words to this song. Okay, I got a really good friend right here, Larry Hawkins. Okay, this dude has been raked over the coals, served their country more than once. This dude put under the gun by his own government. So I've watched my friends. I've got 3 flags in this house of my own family members. Okay, I am from a military family. Okay, give or take, yeah. But the thing is my own boy, right? My own kid. He would probably like self-destruct before he would ever give himself to this corporation. Now he's too wide awake to know what's going on. You understand what I mean by self-destruct? He's like, you ain't taking me nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. So this is where we're at. People are awake into what you're saying. The system is fucking broke. It just, okay? So now the only way to like fix it is to let this bitch fall completely apart in its own footprint. Be done with it. Let it happen. It's gonna happen anyway. It is happening. So where we're going now is evolving. That's why I made you this screen right here. I made you this beautiful screen. We are evolving. We are. But it doesn't happen overnight. So where we're going, David, you and I, as well as everybody else, from this point forward is like three steps forward. Somebody got my back. Okay, cool. They keep me from having to take a step backwards. You follow me? Do you got me?
Yeah.
In other words, is like holding on to one another, uplifting one another. That's where we need to be. This is where the unity falls into place. Okay? 3 steps. This bullshit of 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, 3 steps forward, 1 step back. No. Fuck that. 3 steps forward. Oh God, David, I got you, bro. I got you. That's where we need to be.
Yeah. Well, what you're talking about is I'm hearing a little.
That's okay. All right. Well, yeah, because I wanted you to hear this audio. I wanted you to hear what I'm about to play. I wrote this song for every single one of our military men and women who are in the audience, because it's a big. Whether you see them here, it's a large audience of military men and women in uniform. All of the, we do shout outs to all of the ABCs, the good ones, on this broadcast. I truly have faith in their heart, okay, that they will evolve, okay. So nevertheless, the name of this song, David, is Just a Masquerade. So I'm gonna play this for you and everybody else up in here. Take your phone with you, go grab your pop. Everybody else, we will be right back with David the Indian. Crank it up, Brainiac. Blow them speakers, man. Now we can crank it. Yeah!
I was sent to the front lines and I fought without a clue. I believed in my duty and I felt the honor too. All of that, the God, the guts and glory, until I saw the truth behind the veil of the stars and stripes. A darker side revealed, where pawns in their game, for power they'll never yield. Awake now, eyes open wide, no longer blinded by their lies. This land of the free, it's just a masquerade. It's just a masquerade for the powerful few. Our sacrifice is made. They paint us as heroes, but we're really their expendable tools, sent to fight their battles and wars like ignorant fools. But I won't march to their beat, won't play their game. I stand for true justice now, and I'm no longer the same. Awake now, eyes open wide, no longer blinded by their lies. This land of the free, it's just a masquerade. It's just a masquerade for the powerful few. A sacrifice is made. They call it patriotism, but we're really the expendable tools, sent to fight their battles and wars like ignorant fools. But I won't march to their beat, won't play their game. I stand for true justice now, and I'm no longer the same. Awake now, eyes open wide, no longer blinded by their lies. This land of the free, it's just a masquerade. It's just a masquerade for the powerful few. Our sacrifice is made.
Yeah, Brainiac.
Patriotism, they call it the 4th of July, but it's a corporate charade. We're fighting for their profits, our ideals betray. I won't be silenced, no, I won't bow to their command. I fight for truth and freedom against their ironclad hand.
Come on,
Awake
Brainiac.
now,
Yeah.
eyes open wide, no longer blinded by their lies. This land of the free, it's just a masquerade for the powerful few. Our sacrifice is made. So raise your voice now, we stand tall and strong. For the soldiers used for far too long. No more deception, no more lies. We reclaim our honor along the
Cove and mystic charms where magic meets the mundane and the extraordinary becomes everyday. Are you ready to gift yourself with the whispers of ancient power stones? To the feel and hear the echoes of our ancient past? Dive into a world where each pendant tells a story, where rare stones hold secrets known only to the universe itself. At Crystal Cove, our collection isn't just jewelry. It's a gateway to a realm of mysticism and wonder. Let the shimmering opal guide you through twilight dreams, or embrace the fiery energy of the sun with our exquisite amber pendants. Each piece, handcrafted by the hands of a true mystic who understand the language of the earth and the fire of one's heart. At Crystal Cove and Mystic Charms, we believe that every soul deserves to sparkle. Whether you seek solace in the calming embrace of amethyst or wish to dance with the vibrant hues of turquoise, our collection holds the key to unlocking your inner magic if you allow it to be so. Visit us today and discover the pendant that speaks to your soul. Crystal Cove and Mystic Charms, where the beauty of our amazing earthy realm meets the magic of the cosmos.
Hey there, Hunter. Go check out our friends at Colorado Custom Game Calls. They are all about creating a high-quality, custom, unique game calls at an affordable price. They are here for hunters that can't and won't pay upwards of $180 to $200 per game call. They pride themselves on giving their customers the opportunity to not only purchase an affordable and high-quality call, but to customize their game call to their liking. So listen up and go check them out. That's www.coloradocustomgamecalls.com. They got calls for all type of game, and all the game calls can be custom made to your own likeness. That's www.coloradocustomgamecalls.com. Tell them Matthew sent you from the Matrix Minds.
What is up, all my beautiful and gorgeous souls? I am Michelle Espinosa, otherwise known as the Shaman, through the Matrix Mind Media. So tell me, how many times have you wished that you had that special power of prediction? You know, to know what was going to happen before it actually happened and took place. To have some power and control over that situation before things came flying at you out of left field. The thing is, you actually can have that power. You can be aware of what's coming. Tune in to Astrology TV with me for Breaking the Cage. Every Sunday evening at 10 p.m. Eastern on the Matrix Mind Media. And I will go through the astrology and help put you on the right course and get you back in control of your own life. Love you guys.
This CBD fluid is a whole flower fluid extracted from the cannabis flower. We don't use any heat, butane, or chemicals when we extract, so we get all of the components of the plant. All the CBD, CBG, CBA, all the terpenes, all the flavonoids. This allows our body to absorb at 60 to 90% rather than the average of 6 to 10% absorption you would get with a CBD oil. Because our bodies are made up of mostly water and this is a fluid, it's highly absorbable so that you're getting 500% more nutraceuticals per dose. We also have this available in our CBD spray as well as a muscle rub with all kinds of botanicals. You're going to absolutely love it.
Check it out, Brainiacs. MatrixMinds.live/CBD. CBD I use. Feel free again. Feel alive again. Alrighty then, Brainiacs. Yeah, man. We back here with Mr. David the Indian. My good buddy about that from Brazil. Yeah, man. How'd you like that song there, Mr. David? I can't. You're muted, bro. You muted yourself. Unmute yourself.
Okay, I was just saying that, and thank you for letting me know. I'm sorry I kept it on mute, but what a song, high energy, and just a shout out to the people that in uniform and people, veterans and people that have experienced firsthand what it is to to protect the freedoms of what it is to be human. And that's really why people that I know in my life that have entered into the military and gotten involved is really for the sake of preserving democracy and the standards that we set for being free people. And so it's really troubling because now there's quite a few whistleblowers that have been with the military in high-ranking positions and are now informing everyone what the realities are and how entrenched, the military and these different operations like Operation Gladio, which is something that I came across on a podcast with a Colonel Townsend. I think it was a woman, Colonel Townsend. She's a whistleblower and talked about Operation Gladio for the first time. Some of these things are really shocking for people, like even myself, when I hear, a 2-hour podcast and this person obviously doesn't have any any reason to lie and not be truthful. So, Operation Gladio is really troublesome for military personnel and of all grades in the military, because it is a hierarchy, obviously. But even people that just enter in basic training, really give up everything from what we're being told. I don't want to say guinea pigs, but now some of the people in the military that I know are questioning really why are they fighting these wars and doing the things that they're told to do for the sake of freedom, and it's the last thing that really anyone cares about is the freedom. It's about the control and the manipulation and the testing and kind of I don't even know, like guinea pigs. That's what makes it hard to accept, is that we can take and separate different groups of people into classes that have no rights, and being infected in the military. The stories that have come out, people have to take red and blue pills and all sorts of colors of pills and get involved with testing of biological weapons and actually living through this, which obviously has effects on health. And so, a shout out for all of the veterans, real serious appreciation, even though for myself, I never served. I did register for the draft when I was 18, only because I was basically forced to. I don't have any real desire to fight anybody. Actually, my name is David Ferdinand, and it's an interesting story because of Ferdinand the Bull, which is a children's story about nonviolence, and a bull that really enjoys smelling flowers rather than tasting the blood from the matador. Really, the whole thing about my personality and my life. I've never been in a fight, for example. I was an athlete. I used to do like jiu-jitsu and I don't want to say cage fighting, but at the time it was Greco wrestling. I was a wrestler. So I've had competitive battles, let's say. I mean, you have to get ready to go in the circle or in the cage or whatever. You're one-on-one with another force, and so you got to be prepared to take control of that situation and to win. And so I've always been trained to win. I think we all have in America. We are the champions. That's in the Rocky movie, with all of the stories of the underdog, and that's really the American dream, is that you can come from behind and you can kick ass, and but not like see, that's the difference between like war, where you go in and you destroy, versus sportsmanship, where when now you're in a game with another person. I mean, you can hurt each other. You can actually, and I've done it. I've actually hurt people, and that's why I stopped. Actually, my athletic career was in high school, and when I got into college, I really had no desire for sports. And in high school, I was varsity letter three. Every semester in school, I was always in extracurricular activity, and I was able to manage my studies, and eventually now I have a master's degree, and I could be a multiple doctor in the things that I'm actually doing if I was really looking for more like ego, I guess.
More ego.
to kind of brag about. But there's really, for me, the Matthew, there's nothing more. I've arrived. When we are awake and when we experience that I am, the I am is the real comfort in our lives, because that gives us the confidence that we can not only survive or deal with whatever we're facing, but we can actually make the best of any situation. Even the most horrible thing that we experience in our life has, on the other side, is the goodness and the joy that comes from just not being that or doing that anymore and making those mistakes. So, it's very interesting, because as I don't want to focus on the political side of things, but in this conversation with this live tonight, I'm seeing that we're still getting quite a few comments and what have you, and we don't want to ignore. Actually, we definitely want to get that, that exchange of questions and answers, and people to try to become more intimate and more authentic with what we're talking about here. So I'm not just rambling on, but maybe, I don't know if you want to read. I'm seeing some more messages kind of popping up as we go, like you said.
Well,
on my side, I don't see all of that. It's not, I'm only seeing what you're displaying here. So,
there's, I can scroll, dude. I can scroll. There's a whole shit ton of messages. I mean, these guys chat up in here the entire time. That's one good thing about you is you don't see it to where it derails you, and I'm glad. I want to touch on something that Mr. Danny Currington just kicked out there. He says the court system are all bought off, so we need to clean out the scum and the actual judges that follow the law for us to succeed. Here's the thing. He's touching on something that's really, really, really detrimental to where we're at as a people, and that is, let's go back to Tammy's statement where she said we are guilty before proven innocent in a court of law. It's like they twisted this shit, and I wanted to point out to you today. You'd mentioned, or somebody, I think it was Miss Amanda, that pointed out something about the police, and I didn't get the chance to say this to her, but where we are at, the matrices that we're in, police to me says policy enforcement agents. That's what I see. Policy enforcement agents. They work for a municipality, which works for the state, which works for the national, I don't know, national scum bucket, blah, blah, blah. I mean, we are, like Larry says, I haven't seen a free person yet. Now that right there goes deep. Really, really deep. This is a military guy. Do you hear me? Military guy saying that. And I can't say he's wrong. Do you want me to tell you why? We're the only species on this planet that's got to pretty much fight for survival and pay to live. It goes back to 1 step, 3 steps forward. Oh shit, I'm full. David, you got me? I got you. What the fuck happened to people? What happened to us? We don't support and help one another anymore. The court, like Danny said, the court system is completely trash. The Judiciary Committee is a joke. The Federal Reserve is who runs this place. It's like we're watching puppets control people. Something's got to change.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, really, the topic of this show was about evolution, and so, the thing is, if we're not free, and Larry said that he doesn't know anybody that's free. If we're not free, we're not evolving. We're stagnant. We're actually constipated, and so.
I am not. Beg your pardon.
Yeah, I mean, well, you might say that you don't have to be, but if the system is, then you don't have the flow of allowing just nature to take its full course.
True.
So the freedom that Larry's talking about is that sovereignty that we have as individuals, and the responsibility that comes with it, because some people might think that they're free because maybe they've saved up and they have, some like security net, so they feel free. They can feel good about, their life and their accomplishments and whatever. But the freedom, I think, that Larry is referring to, and anybody that takes the uniform and actually fights in these wars with any type of conscious behavior, doing it for the freedom, so that we can be free, and that our kids in the future generations have future that is promising, and it's not so troublesome. Everything is so messed up, and that really is kind of the programming that we've gone through. We've moved from the perfection of what it is to be a human being to now, trouble. And it's crazy. Sometimes when I reach out to new people, just out of kindness, just saying hello, good morning or whatever, people, they're just angry.
People are angry. Right now, people are angry. Yes,
absolutely. Like, and they're it's like caging an animal, or putting an animal in a corner. You're going to scratch your way out of it. Nobody wants to be in a corner. It's not comfortable. It's not in the center of the room. People want to be the center of attention, and even. The physics and Newtonian physics, what I was saying about evolution, we have been taught that only the strong survive. We were never taught what it is to be strong. What basically evolution says, that if you have weapons, you can inflict pain and suffering on other people, and that is the strength. The strength is that ability to conquer anything that we come across. That's where the pure ego and the self-preservation, who we think we are individually, overrides the unity of us being identical. So when we take an arm and we hurt some other person, or we murder, especially if we murder somebody, this is the highest act of injustice, to take anybody's life, and even related to gun control and things like that. As a presidential candidate, obviously, it is a very serious question that people have, because it is a constitutional right to be able to protect yourself, and to have that as a deterrent against tyranny. And quite honestly, our government now, with all indications, is not pointing fingers at one side or the other. It's the whole. I don't want to say shit cannon caboodle, but
it's true.
That's true. It's like, yeah, exactly. And you know, we talked about the judicial system a little bit and how plagued it is, to the point where when you say that you're an attorney and you are actually that you have a bar registration, you have a license to practice law. I mean, you don't have to give a license to practice morality and ethics, and definitely don't have to have a license to defend yourself in court and have juries, which is something that in our judicial system right now, that the people that are trying to really just nail the coffin shut are trying to eliminate, not only in the United States but other countries that I'm dealing with, the rule of jury. They're trying to eliminate having your peers actually be able to listen to the facts. Rather, they prefer to have a judge just giving the verdict and just period. You're guilty, and literally everyone's going to be guilty. There's no one that's going to go to court that's not going to be prosecuted.
Check this
That's
out.
the way the judicial system is. Like you just said, we are guilty until we prove ourselves innocent. You can never prove yourself innocent. Never. You know, that's not possible. But see, that's why, you know, in nature, like you were saying, even, you know, why are we the only species that have to do anything to live and to thrive and to really evolve as species? And I'm not talking about just self-preservation, like the strong survive. I'm talking about people in our society with, like right now with autism, for example. Autism is off the chart. Even Bobby Kennedy, as a candidate, independent candidate, one of his platforms was all about the health issues and how our kids, and even the reproductive process of what it is to be a man or a woman, we have contaminated the egg, the sperm, and everything to go along with it, you know, and now autism, it used to be, I think Bobby Kennedy said 1 in every 10,000 people or children were born with autism. This is like 20, 30 years ago. And now it's like 1 in every 36 children are born with autism. And so, you know, we are just in a situation, it's really a health crisis. And other people, even Dr. Shiva is another presidential candidate, independent, that actually is he's a doctor. You know, he talks about, you know, vaccines and viruses and how we've actually really just kind of got so confused.
I gotta hold you, bro, because you're running again. Danny Kern said, it's in our food, it's in our water, it's in our vaccines. Well, we don't need. Here's the thing. I personally, I am an anti-vaxxer. This now you'll get a glimpse here in a second, because there's about 20. I see it bounce between 28 and 35 people watching. Right. Let me show you how to cut that in half. Hold my beer. So you got about 29 to 35 people watching. Again, I don't care to cut it in half, because those that need to hear will hear, and those that we offend by being who we are being authentically will fall by the wayside. They can go back to CNN for all I give a shit. Okay? Here's the thing. This is the problem we have got. Okay? Entertain me. They don't care to hear what truly matters. We're in the goddamn situation we're in now because nobody did anything. Nobody did anything. It's in our food, it's in our water, it's in our air, it's in our vaccines, because nobody gave a shit. Actions speak louder than just keyboard warriors. I'm going to fuck you up. I'm going to kill you. We've got too many of those and not enough people to stand up and do something. I'm glad that you're doing something. This is why I will do what I can do to get behind you, okay, and create this beautiful place where we as a people stand united. we're just saying it's time to now do something. Do you see what I'm saying, David? Now is the time. The bar, you mentioned the bar association, you mentioned the court, we mentioned all of these things, but we are in the situation we're in because again, people don't like alpha females, they don't like alpha males. It's all, everybody's been pussified. Sorry if I offend anybody, but if you're offended, goodbye. I mean, it's time that you literally buck up. Yeah, I'll say it again, buck up, or just change the fucking channel. For real. You're going to get ran over. Is that what you want to do? Stand up, speak up. See something, say something. There you go. Numbers are going down. Good. Go back to CNN. If you don't like what I'm hearing, because it's triggering you. This place has been absolutely we are all under a brainwashing technique. And unless you wake up to that, we're going to continue to get what we got. So if you want to change what we've got, you've got to do something. It means get up off your ass and do something. Create something. Because the people that we're talking about, okay, the people we're talking about, they take your content. They take your everything. They're non-creators. They can't fucking create. They steal from you. Then they'll lie to you, only to steal more from you. So David, was it me and you that I was talking to about death? Or no, it was somebody I got into a pissing match with about one of my posts. Should we have assisted death? I personally believe in it. And here's why. Because I'm about to euthanize a fish in there because I feel bad for it. Okay, it's hurt. It's bad. It's bad off. So I'm waiting for some clove oil to euthanize my fish. Okay, that's my heart. I can't see it struggle. It's gonna go bye-bye. But the system we're in, bro, it's again, it milks every fucking dime out of everybody. While you're dying, oh, we gotta prolong it. They'll suck every dime out of you until you're dead, and then they'll try to bring you back from the dead. And then after that, they'll go after your mom or your kids or your whatever, and all of these, you're already dead. But they're still milking you. You can't even fucking die in peace.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the.
I'm not trying to be a smartass. I'm not trying to be a hardass. But this is the authentic me. You talked about being authentic. Again, you got 35 people up in here. I would rather have 5 that gives a shit. That's me. David he's like, Joel's like, I'm just being real, bro. This is me. This is just me.
Yeah, but I think what you're leading to is some of the the direction that we're being guided in right now is actually the survival of the fittest. And what we define as success and being the most fit is the person that has the biggest bank account.
No, that's bullshit. That's the illusion.
I know that is. I'm just saying, I'm not buying into that.
Right.
What I'm saying is that the current situation it's like a mafia in organized crime. And when you are organizing people, even militia and terrorist cells and things of that nature, cults, extremists, basically extreme people. What they do is they manipulate you and they give you things that satisfy your physical needs, whether it's a place to stay or, the basic Maslow hierarchy needs. And so virtually our whole society now is incentivized to really put pain and suffering on people. And I'll just mention a specific story about, entrance into the United States. and when you go through customs, they are actually paid if they can identify that you are violating any type of law that they have. And I'm not talking about natural law. I'm just talking about any of the procedural things. If they can identify you and actually prevent you from being in the United States, they get a commission. So they're actually incentivized to hurt you. I mean, there's no way around it. They're not, the way we're set up is we're not trying to really, like you say, come together with the unity. It's about the separation, and the incentive is just like a gang or the mafia. You can pay people to go kill people and be an assassin, and they think that they're actually doing some service for society and for mankind or womankind or whatever, because assassins aren't always men. They're, some of the best assassins are women, for whatever reason. And so, anyways, the conversation, and you're being honest and basically guiding people that if they don't want to be here right now, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, what I would like to do is I'm seeing a lot of comments. I would like to have questions. If anyone has any questions, of me specifically, or anything that they're going through, maybe a challenge there in their life, or if they need some encouragement, some love, basically. So I don't know if there are any questions, because right now this is coming up on an hour and a half or even a little bit more. So I don't know how much time. I'll go around robin. I'll stay on 24/7, like I'm committed to with the podcast that I'm doing anyways. But really, I'm trying to just open it up to try to help to get involved with, like Larry, for example. You mentioned Larry. I sent Larry a request to be friends.
That ain't gonna happen, because Larry's piss circle is about the size of the top of my chew can right here. I mean, he's worse than I am. Yeah. I'm just saying, Larry's his I'm not speaking for Larry. Larry's just Larry. However, Larry's just really, really, really watching himself right now. He's it's up to you.
Yeah. I had just for people listening, like I said, we started the Power of Islands podcast for the month of September on September 1st. And on Sunday, September 1st, I had an interesting interview with David Baumblatt. And David is on Facebook. And it's interesting because he is a FBI operative. He was trained in the military. He is a veteran. He's also a professional kickboxer. So he's athletic. So he's kind of like a 007 type of person.
Right.
And worked for the United States, the FBI, for many years, and basically just saw so much pain and suffering that we were inflicting on other people in other nations, that he came clean and is a whistleblower now. And so I had him on the show on Sunday, speaking from Hong Kong. He's been out of the United States since 2010, which is a little bit of the same story that I have. A common thread is the FBI, and I am a whistleblower. And basically, the FBI just they baited and hooked me. They got me to blow the whistle, and then they threw me to the sharks.
Well, that's notorious. That's they're good for that.
Yeah, but that's what we need to try to come to terms with, what it means to be like Neighborhood Watch, for example. The enforcement of our laws and our cultural behaviors, because every country is a little bit different in how we behave with each other, the language we speak, the food, and all of the history of a place. But we don't want to try to we don't want to try to whitewash everybody so that there are no differences. The difference is what makes life, not boring. Otherwise, if life was a utopia and everyone were millionaires and we didn't have anything, I don't know what we would do, quite honestly. And a lot of people that I talk to, they say that they're afraid. Even people that retire. For people listening that are older, close to retirement, like my age, your age, you're a little bit younger, but I'm 60, so retirement's coming around the corner pretty quickly here for me. You know, people don't know what they're going to do once they don't have anything to do. But it's not like you don't have anything to do. You can have fun. You can spend time with your family and just enjoy the benefits and rest, like you said, rest in peace.
Right.
That itself is a saying that when people pass away and then everyone's like sending their prayers to the family and like rest in peace, what I say to people is that's so hypocritical, because why that person was alive, the last thing you did was give them peace. You made their life miserable hell. You shit on them. You did everything to make it not peaceful. Like, even in law enforcement, we have something called, disturbing the peace. Like, if you're disturbing the peace, or you're like taking a piss in public, you can be arrested for these things. But
Right.
then, the way we deal with the elderly people, we basically compartmentalize them and disenfranchise them so that they don't have any voice whatsoever. They don't have any dignity. So even when you just mentioned euthanasia and the humanity that comes with, like Dr. Jack Kevorkian, these are subjects that are dear to my heart. For people that are trying to identify, who this character is called that's running for the president of the United States. I just want people to understand that I am aware of every topic. And at 60 years old, I'm self-educated. And I believe I've read every self-help book to be empowered and not to be a victim, because it's so easy for us to fall into that oh my, why am I cursed in my life, and the victimization. It's so easy. It's incredibly. It's the most natural thing is to feel that type of the lack and the need to gain the innocence that we all have. That's the pressure that we're under, because we have been steered in the wrong direction. I'm not saying that direction doesn't exist and it's going to go away, but we need to balance. We need to have that balance, and that's what truth is. Really, truth doesn't require anyone to participate. The only thing that requires our participation is when we bullshit. When we bullshit, we need to be present, and we need the further that we take away from the truth, the more work that we have to do, because you got to cover it up, and it's just a player. You're just playing a game. But in the truth of it all, and just being the I am, it can be playful. I'm not saying that it's not fun, but I basically what it is I don't know. It's just getting back to being authentic. When you're authentic, it's not a game. It's wonderful to be authentic, because then we can have the humor and the humbleness that comes along with it all. It's the whole package.
But
That's what authentic is.
bro,
is
here's the
whole
thing.
package.
I personally, you said you're 60s, right? You're in your 60s? 61, 60? Here's the thing.
60.
I personally will tell you, even at 48, I have learned that what we're trying to do here by evolving consciousness, waking people up,
I myself, the way I work is I try to teach people to just think for themselves. Okay. I am also I am a love and light guy as well, but I also teach stand and fight. I'm all love and light until I have got to stand and fight. And mark my words, the system knows this. The system knows your voice. Let's go back to the AI thing for a second. We cannot fart without the system knowing what we ate yesterday or the day before. Me and Larry can talk about things on here, and we have had to reset. I've literally had to reset this entire thing multiple times from the conversations that my military guy here and myself have described to people that literally describe the matrices that we're in that needs to change. Now, it's not going, no offense, it's not going to get fixed by those love and light people that will literally lay down in front of the tank because the tank will flatten your ass. It's going to take people to stand in front of that tank and say, if we have had enough, Molotov. That's the kind of shit I see happening in my matrix. These people are going to only take so much. So my love and light has now reached a breaking point of now it is time to stand up for me. And you, David, stand up for the people. If that's what you wish to do, there's no way in hell I would want to be a president. I would never, ever. I've got people here that see how I act and how I participate within my mayor's page. And they're like, oh, you so need to run for mayor. Oh, hell no. I'll run for mayor for about a week. Fire every single one of them pieces of shit, starting from the community council to every single, and I would go, and then I would let the people reelect who they choose. I personally see this system as the bar associate. You mentioned the bar and court system, the corrupt court. We're watching a breaking point. I'm telling you, I feel it in my heart, David. We've reached that point of break, and it's going to change. And it's going to take people like you.
Yeah. Well, the definition of evolution, first of all, we haven't evolved as human beings for God only knows since when. Mm-hmm. It could be millions of years. We've had this predisposition of who we are. And so when you say the breaking, like on the edge, like in a distress type of situation, that actually is necessary for us to actually make the shift. It's just like flipping a coin. Right now we are on the edge, and to be able to experience the other side, which is all of the joy and bliss and not having to survive and fight and scratch and claw and just to try to maintain just the whatever status quo, whether it's good or bad, but all of that comes with it. The things that you're expressing, Matthew, are real, obviously, because it's authentic. It's coming from you. You're expressing the way that you're feeling. But what I want to express from my viewpoint here is, as a public official and somebody that for the first time that I'm actually entering into politics, I tried to enter in 2006 and actually for the first time register to vote in the state of Florida as the mayor of the city or at city council. The mayor actually was being replaced. So if I were elected in that election in 2006 for Sarasota City, there was a possibility that I would become the mayor,
awesome.
which is a pretty important city in the United States. And so back in 2006, I actually thought, because I was unemployed, there was some suggestion that I made to myself that if I can't beat them, let me at least join them. And then once I join them, maybe I can convert them like a mole or some, get inside as an outsider. That's the whole idea. People are saying right now, like clean the swamp. We need an outsider that comes in and like you were just saying, Matthew, if you became a political anybody, you would just like clean house like right
dude,
away.
I would absolutely, I absolutely would, David, because it's corrupted, dude, from the bottom to the top and the top to the bottom. The Apple core is the Apple fucking core is corrupt.
Right. Well, but at the same time, government is a necessity. Human beings are problematic, period. We are designed to make problems and then to try to solve those problems so that we can all feel like special, that we had the answer. But most of our lives, if we're honest with ourselves and we are awake and aware in our conscious behavior, most of the things that we do in life is just, we wake up in the morning and we create messes. And then all day long, we try to put out fires and make it orderly again so that we can hopefully go to bed and have a good night's sleep, to wake up again, to make more messes, that's the cycle that we're really in. It's self-destructive, and it's really sabotage, because you can't evolve. That's not evolution, is staying in that same comfort zone or whatever, or the pattern of what our routine is and how we're reacting. To be open and to live in the moment is a surprise, and it's all change. The only thing that we know that is fixed in life is that everything is changing. That itself is a statement that's so powerful. That's not bad or right or wrong. It's just the truth. Evolution is a forward motion, and literally every moment is a new opportunity for us to rebirth and to reboot. And the more that we learn how to stay in that unity field, in the we, basically, that's why we, the candidate, the name itself, I'm hoping that I actually win the election, and that the next president's the we president too. It's not me as we, it's a succession of we the people. It's always been designed that way. Even our Constitution says we the people, and it also says in perfect union. In perfect union. And so the word perfect is something that some people, they cringe. Like for me, when I say that I'm perfect, some people think that's my ego and just in being self-righteous or whatever. The perfection that I'm alluding to is our wholeness, that there's nothing that we need to do. It's not like a promotion like Nike or something. Just do it. No pain, no gain. These are the things that we've taught ourselves and society, and now teaching our kids and grandkids the same type of messages, like no pain, no gain. That's ridiculous. Imperfection. The definition of, like, for me, like perfect health. If we talk about health. Like, what is it to be perfectly healthy? The definition is not to feel anything. That's healthy, because now you don't have any blockage, whether it be mental, emotional, or physical disease or ailment. So when people ask me, are you perfectly healthy? I say, absolutely, I'm perfectly healthy. I don't have pain. And if I feel a pain, like right now, I'm feeling a little tension in my shoulder, because I'm holding the phone. Mm-hmm. This has been like a 2-hour conversation.
We're going to wrap it up, or we will.
Yeah. Yeah, but what I'm basically saying to the word perfect is not a bad word, and in our society, in the American Constitution says we are perfect. So, like right now with the Trump administration saying "Make America Great Again," we are beyond great. We are perfect. It's not make America or anything or the world anything. We are perfect. The whole world is perfect. And we are healthy and we're wealthy and we can act and entertain and make life very pleasant and
I agree
enjoyable
with this. I
through
agree.
music and dance and poetry and in the arts and in creation of beauty. And that's what we're I mean, we have a lot of artists in the world. I know, and I'm surrounded. Many of the friends that I choose in my life are people that are really creative and express themselves. That's why I'm attracted to those people, because of their authentic, the gifts that they have are so amazing. The perfection of God's design has never been altered. But God is such a loving God that God doesn't tell us what to do ever. I mean, we are God. God is within us, but at the same time, we have the responsibility to living up to that perfection and allowing it to happen. There's nothing that we have to do to earn that. Actually, it's in not doing. It's not just do it. It's just don't do it. Just be silent. Take time to self-reflect. Self-actualize is what it's actually called. That's when enlightenment happens. When you know yourself with all of the perfection and imperfection of what it is to be total. There's only joy, and that's the type of spirit that I'm hoping to bring into the office of President of the United States of America. And it's something that I don't know if ever really has existed. I don't know if I'm so special in that way, but the thing about my particular journey and story, I'm not going to get into all of that. I'm actually making a movie and getting involved with this multimedia center. Really is the foundation for me to run for president. First of all, from being on an island in Brazil and not being involved with these rallies like ex-President Trump is doing, and really out in visiting, swing states and doing the typical campaign. This multimedia center here is an option which is very interesting for taxpayers in the United States. Every election costs billions of dollars to actually hold these elections. And in my case, if I am successful, which I think in all rights, I have the ability to actually be the president. First of all, there's no objection to that. Whether it happens or not is really, going to depend on the moment that it happens. It's not happening right now. I'm not really on this call tonight to ask people to vote for me. I'm here to express the we, and that's the word of the day, is the we, and being a public representative and a servant. That is, I don't say that you ignore your own personal interests, because it is the combination, like I said, of me, myself, and I am. So, the ego is there. All of the dedication, discipline that it takes to even consider being, somewhat practical and logical as far as being the president of the United States, with the experience. at 60 years old, also the wisdom and everything that's provable, and the integrity and the moments in time, and my personal experience with climbing up the corporate ladder and being in a C level on board of directors, and having founded different nonprofit organizations and being the president. So in many ways, I've been the president. I am the president. So I'm just not the president of the United States of America, but the things that I do and have done for my own basically career and accomplishments have always been with the integrity. And also blowing the whistle is another important facet of what I offer that neither of the other candidates that I know, even like I mentioned, Dr. Shiva and Bobby Kennedy and Trump and Harris, I don't think any of them have been whistleblowers. And even Harris is a prosecutor, a public defender, or whatever, attorney general. She's a legal person. She's a bar associated, licensed legal professional. I don't think that Vice President Harris has ever been a whistleblower. And so that's dude. Really, that's the important thing in our society now. There's so many violations, human rights, civil rights, and all sorts of unjust behaviors in our society. If you haven't blown the whistle, get ready, because people are going to hold everyone accountable. If you're in a community and there are the atrocities happening, like children trafficking and any type of trafficking or slavery or bondage or kidnapping or even like crazy businesses that like almost like Dr. Frankenstein's that are creating and using like AI in ways that are not ethical, moral, and correct at all. It's a matter of us keeping everyone held accountable and with checks and balances, and that's what transparency is about, and that's really what the Matrix is about. The living Matrix is about that clarity, so that if anything is happening in our communities, we're not like a new knee-jerk response, that we're intimate with our surroundings, and we're not like sticking our heads in the sand like ostriches. We have courage, we're standing tall, we're standing proud, we're optimizing our potential, and that's what it's all about. So I don't know if you were making a motion, if somebody made a comment, or
I was on top of that. We're gonna have to jump out of here.
Okay.
I wanted to say something about Mr. Danny Carrington says we don't need any more beta leaders. We need masculinity back in there, and I'm like, Uganda forever. It's back. What's to say? Back when we fought for leadership. Really, that's what masculinity. See, I guess where we're at is we as a people, right, have gotten so browbeat by the facade, the lights, glamour, all of the pretty shit. Here's the thing: I guess check this out. I don't truly believe that there were multiple. Let's go back to like January 3rd for a second, okay? This past election, we all know. I'm not even going to say it. I don't have to say it. We all know what the hell happened, okay? But again, that is our building over there, okay? Do I agree with people busting shit, blowing shit up? I do not at all. I don't agree. I don't believe that we need to break shit, blow shit up. I don't believe that. However, let me share with you, David, that the videos that I seen during the January 6th was sent to my inbox of like, true patriots. Do you know that these people stayed within the red lines, and they were walking calmly through there, guiding one another through there? The shit we seen on Tells a Vision, everybody bought into that. Everybody bought into that. And they're like, oh, insurrection. Bad patriots. But the shit that I seen was totally fucking opposite. Totally opposite. We got painted a picture of what they wanted the public to believe and put that energy into. Bad patriot. Your domestic homegrown terrorism. That's what it is. You should never have been there. Bad patriot. Man, that's your fucking building. That's your building, right? That is your building. Now, the problem we've got is people like David that's going to try to like stand up, speak out. I personally, David, I love your heart. I love your motive. But I don't personally see the majority of those that are in the bar association, the municipalities, the state governments, the local. Dude, people like me and people like you will never get in there. Never. Because we are not going to be bought and paid for. Do you see what I'm saying?
I can feel you, and I know the sentiment is pretty similar with in general, the confidence that people have with anything to do with government, and even just saying that you want to be like a public servant is already like people question it, like they don't believe it.
You are a public servant right now. What's wrong with this?
Yeah. No, I understand that, but unfortunately, Matthew, we do need government, and we need government reform with the purity of it, and the real answer. And I know that we're running short a little bit tonight, but getting back to Article 5 of the U.S. Constitution gives us the ability to open up the call for convention. In that call of convention gives us the process of auditing and in coming to terms with what are the facts, and if there are crimes that have been committed, the people that are held accountable will be prosecuted with a human side of things. If once we open the Article 5, people surrender and basically blow their own whistle on themselves, if they come clean, then they'll be treated with a certain level of forgiveness. But if once we open the Article 5, first of all, my prediction is that there's going to be certain people that are going to commit suicide. Like they
Bye,
don't wanna...
Felicia. Bye. Get him gone, dude.
Yeah, but see that we don't want to suggest that Article 5 is meant to destroy anything or anybody. Even in the most horrible situation, we live in a society, what's called a civil society, that we do give the benefit of the doubt, and also under most situations, in my life as the president, I have the 3-strike rule. Just like in baseball, 3 strikes, you're out. So if somebody offends me for the first time, of course I feel it. I feel it like anybody else. I can tell when somebody's attacking me, or not even me, but utilizing me as like a Christ. Like I have to bear the cross of life, and they're going to crucify me. I can tell, but I don't want to say thick skin, but I have enough maturity and enough respect for human life, and I really believe that, not just believe, but mathematically can prove that at the center of every person, place, and thing is that purity, is the plasma. We know that everything in our material world has the plasma state, and in plasma it's perfect. The energy just flows in harmony and balance, and so Article 5 is a real it's a real tool, and it was always designed for us to prevent tyranny in type of dictatorships and fascism and any like communistic, any regime that is not about unity, any circumstance of separation. So, some people that when I talk about Article 5, they say, "Oh, that's never going to happen. That's never going to happen."
Why didn't it happen sooner?
Well, it hasn't happened because it wasn't at the right moment of time. But once it happens, then it's going to become the standard practice that, let's say, every 20 years, it doesn't have to be an increment or any type of pattern, but the Article 5 is meant to be instituted on a regular basis as society is evolving, and we're going through these legislative policy making process that, like, for example, like abortion right now. I mean, abortion, we've been talking about abortion and the rights of women for a long, long time. And now all of a sudden it's back in the mix of things to basically strike down what we've already agreed upon. The sanctity of life can, and this is getting back to a comment you made about euthanasia and about the dignity of dying, what it is to die. So in my opinion, and this is my own opinion, I'm not going to invoke this, because even as the President of the United States, people really need to understand that there is separation of power. So as the executive officer, the commander-in-chief, I don't have the ability to make those legislative decisions. There's a whole process in legislation, there's a whole process in judicial procedure. So, but as the president, I can have opinions of things like dying, and also abortion. I have opinions of what women, of what rights are in any ways, whether it's a woman's right or a man's right. If we have the right to life,
3 minutes,
we should have the right to die. Go ahead.
3 minutes.
Yeah.
I've been closing for a half an hour. I've got to have you back and we talk politics. If that's because I can't stop. I can't stand it. I don't like it. So here's the thing. Okay, I'll sit back. This is y'all's platform, not mine. I just make the pretty pictures. I talk to the pretty little chat bot there, and dude, this is your guys' thing. This is your guys' platform. Okay, so it's big enough to where it does make waves in this matrix. So we'll bring you back. I want to bring you back. Probably let's go. I want to bring you back after the election. How's that?
Well, I mean, any time that the moment is right, before, after, in the middle, tomorrow, whatever, I'm available.
All right.
It's going to be very interesting, because even if this election does kind of go forward without any interruption, there's no guarantee that whoever's elected is not going to be impeached. And there's also no guarantee that once Article 5 is exposed, that literally every House and Senator are looking for new jobs. So that's not like a threat. That's not like a threat, because
there's Article 3. From what you just said, Article 5 is a threat. It definitely is.
It's not meant to be that. It's not meant to be a threat to anybody. It's meant to be the reform process in the democracy and our consensus ability to come together in unity. And so if there's all of these crimes against humanity, that is the time right now. We can, I don't want to say clean the swamp, but we can clean the house. The White House can be white, like pure white. And that doesn't mean that the black, it's separated. There's no black in the White House. It just means the purity of the spirit of being American, being patriotic, having national pride, but at the same time, respecting every nation in the world, like the United Nations basically is supposed to do. And so the political thing, I know that you cringe. If I get overly involved with the politics of it, I apologize.
I don't care. It's not me.
We are in a crisis right now. We do need government. There is an election coming up. There is going to be some type of conclusion to all of this. But it's going to be just the end is a new beginning. And basically what I'm saying to people listening here is that my interest in serving you, whoever's listening, the American people in the world at large it's not going to fade away. This is not like a trendy thing for me. Like I said, even at 7 years old, I was running around, being very joyful and happy, saying that I was the president of the United States of America, even at 7. And so I don't know whether it's like a prophecy or something that is definite. But what I do know is that if we apply ourselves and we are genuine and we stay in the moment, anything is possible. Anything is possible. And if this does work out, where we have open, fair election, let the American people actually vote with consciousness, one way or the other. And so that's really the message. I know that we're wrapping it up here. We've already gone beyond.
Yeah, man.
Everyone that's making comments and want to just thank you for all participating. This is a live recording so that we can refer to it in the future. And it will be interesting if Matthew, after the election, if I'm actually the president, it will make a very interesting show for Matrix Minds.
Let me see that. Let's just go with that. That would be the shit, dude.
Yeah, it would be,
wouldn't it? Yeah, that would be the shit. All right, man. Mr. David, I was going to say something positive to everybody, but it takes you 25 minutes. So I think you've done good. I truly do.
Unconditional love.
I know.
I'll end it with 2 words: unconditional love.
All right.
I don't know how to get more positive than that, brother.
All right. That's well said. Dave, you and that beautiful wife of yours, take care of yourself, and enjoy that Brazil weather, brother. Take care of yourself.
Okay.
All right,
we'll be talking. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Good
God
night.
bless.
Good night,
God bless
buddy.
America. God bless you and everyone. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Oh, man. Yeah, man. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's broadcast. I sure do. Holy smokes. Where did the time go? I'm not a political guy. You guys already know that. I am not a political guy. I don't give a shit. I am one of them people that I don't like to debate. I don't like to argue. I want to shout out to Danny Currington, who has literally spammed the chat tonight with Trump shit. I love you, bro, but I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna delete every single one of them things. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I do, however, want to say, look, it's up to you. Trump, Biden, Kamala, O.J. Simpson, Mike Tyson, whoever you want to vote for them. You want to vote for David? Vote for David. I'm at the point in my life where I can honestly tell you, I truly think that it ain't gonna damn well matter. Okay, that's where I'm at. I don't think that it's gonna matter too much. But nevertheless, it is what it is, Brainiacs. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Have a great weekend and enjoy it. Be safe. Take care of yourself. Take care of one another. Share this broadcast. Share this podcast And I will catch you here on Monday night, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 9 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Western. And Lisa up in the chat, she will tell you what it is Canadian time, because I don't have a damn clue. You guys take care of yourselves. Well, out of here. Peace. Good night, everybody.
Fought the dark days, hid in the shadows, but now I'm standing. Now I know. Battled the demons, thought I was through, but there's a new dawn, hope anew. Light at the end, life's worth living. Hold on, my friend, keep on giving. Feels like a circle, round and round. But trust in the morning, new strength is found. Embrace the journey, yes I can. Light at the end, life's worth living. Hold on, my friend, keep on giving. Embrace the journey, yes I can.